Hello, this is Adele, and today we will be playing with the pose pyramid pose, which we do a lot of modifications on it on the shoulders and the legs. So today we will play with a few modifications on it and then just explore into how we can actually work the posterior body as we turn ourselves inwards more into the pose, which is essentially a forward fold. So what you would actually benefit from is the use of blocks. So if you have them, two blocks, or you can be a little bit innovative and use two water bottle as a little support underneath your hands. But if they are the same height, that would be the ideal. Otherwise, we will require a little bit more core strength through the practice. So we'll start off the practice sitting on our hero pose. Feel free to sit on your ankles. It gives a nice, a little bit cruel ankle stretch. Okay, if you are very sensitive around that. Otherwise, be nice to yourself. Sit on the block between the heels. So, hero's pose. So we start off practice here, just getting a little bit more sensations across the front of the thighs and the front of the ankles and shins. Your hands can rest on your knees or thighs. Relax the shoulders and just close your eyes. As your eyes close, turn your attention to the surface of the body, filling across the jaws, the neck and shoulders, the back area, which we will be definitely be more aware of through the class today, the lower back, the hips area, and the back of the legs. Just notice how these areas are feeling for today. They don't have to come up to a certain standard. And what we are trying to do today is to bring more awareness to these areas. Hopefully that to create a more balanced relationship of these areas of the body to our mobility, to our flexibility, and to our strength. Insert the breath into your awareness, noticing your inhale and exhale, being generous with your breath, allowing it to flow. Feel like the breath fills your entire insides, supporting you through the whole practice. Feel like the breath fills you three-dimensionally. And with your out breath, it takes away anything that doesn't serve you for the day. A few more rounds of gentle breath. And slowly from here, start to peel open your eyes and welcome yourself to the practice. Take a little warm-up, roll the shoulders back a few times. And roll the shoulders forward a few times. Relax the shoulders. Take your right arm across the chest and use your left arm to hook the forearm, just getting a nice good upper arm stretch. Squeeze the straight arm into the bent forearm. Breathe. Looking over to the right shoulder. Chin stays pretty close to your shoulders, to your collarbones. Look ahead, bend the right elbow, hand between the shoulder blades, stick the upper arms close to the sides of the ear, getting a nice good right side body stretch. Option, side bend to your left side to get a little bit more. Breathe. It can be intense, so breathe well. Come back through upright, release the arms down to the sides. Change, left arm across the chest, right arm hook, squeeze the straight left arm to the right forearm, looking ahead. Relax the jaws. Soft eyes, glance over your left shoulder. You can tip the chin downwards a little bit. Let both nostrils breathe freely. Look ahead, bend the left elbow, hand between the shoulder blades. Top hand hold the top elbow. Stay neutrally upright or side bend a little bit towards the right side. Feel the left side body stretch. Chin is free from your chest. Breath flows free. Come back through center. Interlace your fingers over your head. Push your palms skywards. Squeeze the arms next to your ears. Feel like your head is free to come forward and a little backwards. Jaw stacked soft. Bend the elbows slightly. Press the arms straight. Bend the elbows. Press the arms straight. One more time to bend. Release your arms down to shoulder height. Turn the palms forward and upwards. Turn the palms facing back. Then just a few rounds, form a soft, loose fist, closing your thumb between your forefingers. Just rotate across the tops of the shoulder. You're internally and externally rotating across the shoulders. With straight arms. Over time, sometimes it feels a little tired. Lower the elbows a little bit more if you need to. Otherwise, you're keeping them at shoulder height. Push your palms facing outwards. Feel like you press against two walls that are closing on you, but you expand your ribs out to the side. Neck, jaw soft, but arms still pressing straight. Fingers pull towards the ears. Breathing. Turn the fingers down, back of the hands push out, but the arms go straight. You can even pull the wrist backwards a little bit. Open across the chest. Release the hands down. Then from there, just wriggle out your fingers with bent elbows. Open and close your hands a few times. Turn the palms up and open and close. Palms down, open and close. And then interlace your fingers, roll out your wrist a few times. And counter a few times. Then push your palms down, release. Come onto hands and knees or fours. You can put the block one on each side if you like to. Come onto hands and knees. Your arms are like struts below the shoulders. Your arms are straight. And then you roll the shoulders away from ears, pressing your shins downwards. Then from there, you let the chest sink between the shoulder blades, between the straight arms. And then you hunch up just your upper back. Lower back, just let it move organically. Arms are like two struts. You sink the chest down and you puff out the upper back. Sink the chest down, puff up. Sink the chest down, retraction of shoulder blades. Puff up, protraction. Sink down, retraction. Puff up, protraction. Sink, puff, sink, and puff. Then from there, neutral, you feel like doing shoulder roll. And you roll forward a few times. Then from there, you press your buttocks towards the heels as your palms stay pressed flat on the ground. You let the buttocks sit back to where you can. Ears are next to your upper arms in this extended child's pose. Press down the thumb and index finger and feel the inner borders of the shoulders slide down towards the waist. Neck is soft. Ears are next to your upper arms. You feel a nice, good side body stretch and a stretch all down to the lower back. You can touch your big toes together if it's helpful. Come back onto hands and knees. Slide your right knee forward between your wrists. Left leg slide back. Extended in like a semi-pigeon pose. Press down the hands for support. Bend the elbows outwards. Slowly sink down. And squeeze your arms straight. Bend your elbows outwards. Slowly sink down. Squeeze the arms straight. One more time. Bend the elbows. And squeeze the arms straight. Then from there, you press down the hands and slide your left knee forward. Come to sit onto your heels. Fingers beside your hips. And then from there, you lean weight onto your left front ankle and lift your right knees off. You can use the hands to hold. You can put a block below it. Okay, just for a few breaths. Just about 3 more breaths. Just stretching the front of the ankle for more ankle mobility. And then you can pull the block out from under, rest onto the shins, hands in front of the knees. You slide back onto your knees on all fours. Take an undulation, up in cow pose, and hunch in cat pose. Looking forward slightly, left knee slide to your left wrist, right leg stretch out, toes point flat. Push the palms. If you feel a little bit tight in the shoulders, feel free to angle your fingers outwards a little bit more. Bend the elbows, sink the chest, and press the arms straight. Bend the elbows outwards, squeeze the arms straight. One more time. Bend the elbows outwards and squeeze the arms straight, staying upright for a little while. You're sitting on your calf muscles. You're sitting on the left front ankle as your right leg go for full straight length. Then from there, you press down the hands, slowly slide your right knee forward, come to sit onto your ankles, fingertips lightly beside your hips, shift weight to your right front ankle, lift the left knee up, use a block to prop if you need to. Creates a little bit more support. It is too challenging for you to lift up by itself. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Then choose one side or just rest, or those who like to, both knees lifting off. With blocks, with no blocks, up to you. So your weight drops back. There's also a stretch in the lower back with the tail tucked slightly under. Then from there, remove one block followed by the other. Come onto hands and knees. We need to soften the wrists, soften the ankles a little bit. Hands forward, slide the knees back. And then we just work with the left leg first. Tuck the toes, spread the toes behind you. You can take a quick glance and drive the heel downwards and up a few times. You're rocking over your wrist. It's a wrist and forearm stretch. Then stay there. Sit back like you want to sit onto your left heel and right heel. You can look forward, getting the shoulders slightly behind the wrist. Then move the shoulders on top of the wrist and raise the left leg up. You find good balance. Feel free to stretch your right arm forward. Stable shoulders, stable abs as you find that tipping balance. Hand down, knee down, all fours. On all fours, just extend the right leg back, stretch down the heels. Stay like this or feel free to rock. And as you rock forward and backwards, you get a chance to feel as your toes starting to learn how to spread and find the ground. Then drive back a little bit, shoulders behind the wrists. Get the shoulders on top of the wrist and raise the right leg up. You can point or flex your foot, it doesn't matter. Just getting the leg as straight as you can. Left arm go forward, extended, breathing. Relax your jaws, glance to the distance or glance somewhere in front of the mat. 3, extended cat pose. 2, 1, hand down, knee down, all fours. Then from there, sit the buttocks back, rest the elbows on the ground. Interlace your fingers. I'm going to find a place to get my block so I can still be in view. Interlace your fingers. You tip the elbow onto the ground first. Okay, then we press the forearms down. Then shift the shoulders on top of the elbows and slide the knees back. If you want more challenge, slide the knees further back and getting the shoulders over your elbows. You interlace the fingers, press down the wrist bone, and then you can stay here. You can slightly tuck and then find that cat pose lower back, or you can squeeze the legs into a forearm plank. Relax the jaws, press back through the heels, and you can look forward, staying here for another 8, 7, 6, you can relax the fingers even. 5, breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees down. Stretch your thighs across the ground into Sphinx pose. You rock your weight from side to side as you feel a little awareness, getting your legs nice and straight, which is very much part of the practice today. So rocking your weight from one side to the other, increasing the sense of balance in fluidity in a more tightrope position. Then from there, you open up the elbows and lie on your belly, allowing the belly to splatter onto the ground, the heel drop out, the elbows spread open. You stretch your right arm forward, you lie on the side of your body with your left hand in front of the ribs. You stack your feet. If it's uncomfortable to stack the feet, just float the left leg up a little bit. Then you're feeling you're on a sling sideways. You lift the lower leg to come up and down. Lift the lower leg to come up and down a few times. Lift and down. Adduction. Lift, down, lift, down, and lift. Then staying here with a lifted, almost like you want to clap in the thighs. Staying for 5. You can let the left fingers get lighter. For 4. For 3, find that hovering sense of balance, engaging your core. 2, 1, lower the right leg. Slowly lie back onto your belly. Let the palms come below the chin or forehead. Take a few moments as your chest and your belly stays compressed against the ground. Can you breathe more into your side ribs and your back? A lot of our organs also have their presence in the back body. So when your back is free, not overstretching in a slouch position when working on the desk, you give them that freedom to breathe and to move in relation to one another. So that's nice, beautiful work for your mobility of your organs inside your body. Second side, left arm outstretched. It's like a pillow for your ear, side lie over towards the left side. My right hand, you can't see it, is in front of the chest as per just now. Feel free to rest and head down, it doesn't have to work. The right leg is hovering, imaginary step on top of the left leg. Then from there, your left leg sling sideways off the ground. You squeeze the left leg up to meet the right leg. Lower, squeeze up, lower, squeeze up, lower. Those are leg padding below the left hip. Find it now, okay? Lift up, lower, lift up, lower. One more step, lift up, staying for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1. Lower. And slowly from there, stretch back onto your belly, both arms outstretched. Bend the elbows and slide the hands all the way back of the hands towards the body. Turn the palms towards the thighs. And take your hands, like you want to clap your palms, or clap your elbows and clap your forearms, interlace your fingers, squeezing your arms straight. Try to roll the shoulders off the ground. Lifting the head up might be a little bit more helpful. Just allowing the fist to rest onto the butt cheek area, and you can roll from side to side as you did just now. And then let the legs lay straight, pinky toenail try to catch the ground. Some of us can lift the chest higher, lift the upper arms higher, or lift the fist higher. Stay in this locust pose with the toes outstretched. Staying for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower down. Slide the hands by the side of the ribs. Press back onto all fours. Sit the buttocks back all the way into extended child's pose. Slide your hands towards the knees. Tuck the toes under. Come into a squat. Your big toes can touch together. Your knees a little bit open out sideways so you can catch the ground in front of you. Just let your hands catch the ground and see if you can imaginary rock down to the butt to stretch the buttocks downwards more. Maybe you hold the sides of the mat, you will be more comfortable, you'll be more supported. Some of us can easily get the heels down, some of us not so far, some of us really far. Okay, you can even try putting a blanket underneath your heel if you like to, just to get that calf stretch. Take your hands forward. Then from here, we're going to tuck our toes and drop our knees forward. You sit onto your toes. This will get a little bit intense, but I'm sure you can try. Okay, so from here, I'm just keeping my right toes tucked under. I'm stepping the left foot forward. Okay, then from there, I lean my weight forward. I raise my left heel, untuck my right toe, sit in. Those one more, you pull the left heel in, and then lean your body forward, getting a calf and Achilles tendon stretch. You can even roll a strap to put underneath your calf. Or alternatively, you can actually use your fingers, clamp them underneath the back of the knees. And then your right hand is simply support. As you fall forward, you're trying to keep the left heel down on the ground. Intensity really depends on how your calves and Achilles tendons feel. I'm feeling a lot in my calves, okay? And they might also determine if your heels get down in downward facing dog. And then from there, release them, release the foot, release the hands, sit back onto the left side. Your right foot step. You can feel free to close in your forefingers below and then step into your right foot. Your right foot can be pretty much in the middle of your left thigh. Then you lean forward, like you want to get the belly and chest drape over your right thigh in a forward fold. Your left hand hold the ground. You're getting a nice good stretch across the right calves and Achilles tendons. Relax the jaws, relax the right elbow. Feel free to slot the arm out if it feels really like, okay, my fingers are losing sensation. Feel breath. And slowly shift your weight back. Okay, undo the foot. Come back onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. Make sure you have good sensations in your toes again. Then lift the knees slightly up and float back, downward facing dog. Have your feet pointing forward, your arms going straight shoulder width, downward dog. Feel free to stay like this, or you can raise the heels up and down, introduce small little movements into the body. And then allowing that movement to ripple up towards the hips, letting the hips sway. Contrary to what we believe, okay, the hip sway is very normal, and in ladies, the hip sway could be the way to a healthy pelvis, healthy back. Not exaggerating it, okay, but really just letting it be more organic movement. And then you can come into your down dog. You can raise the heels. That will get more weight to your wrist and your knuckles. And then you can drop the heels. Raise the heels and drop the heels. Raise the heels and drop the heels into a downward facing dog. Press the thighs and buttocks back. Your heels may be up or down. Then from there, you walk the feet half the distance forward. You walk the hands half the distance backwards, where your hands meet your ankles. You bend your knees and let your belly press against the thighs. Let the arms hang, so hand on opposite elbow, upper body drape over your legs, and you press down the big toe and let yourself drape downwards. Relax the jaws, you can gaze back so that the crown of the head finds your forearms. I like to shift my weight a little bit more forward, so I really feel the back of the legs a little bit active. Slide your hands to your ankles, you squeeze one leg straight, maybe turn your chest to look forward. One leg straight, one leg bent. Hands can be on blocks if you need to. Bend both knees. Left leg straight, right knee bent. Then from there, both legs bent. Feel free to slide your hands further up and both legs straight in a half forward fold. Hands on hips, slowly inhale, hinge up all the way to stand. And since you're in the middle of the mat, the arms hang beside the body, let's take your left foot step forward. You can be treading a line through the center. Your left toes can angle out. One big toe width out, you hug the midline. Imagine you're on a tightrope. You can also, if you have no SI joint problems, you can really have one foot in front of the other. I like to tread the midline, like I have a thick rope between my both feet, and then I stand tall. Then take a while, you take your both arms overhead and try to lift yourself up, allowing the pelvis and belly to fall forward as you stand tall. Interlace fingers, push your palms to the sky, and just let yourself feel tall. Release your palms to face, left hand down and reach over to left side. So the left arm hang, the big toe pressing down on the left foot and the right pinky toe pressing down. Come back to upright. Take the arms back. Reach backwards, palms facing. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze your arms straight. Then from there, bend the front knee a little bit and step the right foot forward. You're interlacing your shoulders, your fingers. Roll the shoulders and stand tall. Take an inhale here. Slight bend your knees. Body fold over your legs and go into a forward fold. Option 1, feast on the back. Option 2, slightly go back
or lift your fist overhead. You can keep your knees bent for sure and get the belly contact with the thighs. Then let the thighs and pelvis pull backwards as your belly stays on your thighs, and raise the shoulders away from the ears. Shoulders stretch in forward fold. Bend the knees, feet on the back, and slowly, hands on hips, all the way slowly come up. Then from there, the right foot stays, the left foot slide back into that tight rope. So feel free to move the left foot out or the right foot out to their individual side. You're standing upright, relax the jaws. Take your hands, interlace your fingers, palms push forward and to the sky. Option, hands on opposite elbow and lift. As you press down your feet for support, you tread the thin line and then you lift the ribs away. Feel like you hug your inner hips together, your inner thighs into the midline. Then from there, take your arms overhead, take your right hand to the side of the body, and side bend towards the right side. Treading the midline, chin a little lifted away from chest. Press the pinky side of your left foot and the right big toe pressing down. Slowly inhale, come back to center, both arms up to the sky. Bend your front knee, take your hands backwards, interlace your fingers, cross the other thumb on top, and then step your back foot forward. Feet about hip width, roll the shoulders, stay upright, option 1. Option 2, bend your knees just so slightly, raise the fist overhead and get a shoulder stretch. Shoulders over the ears, don't over. Just keep the elbows soft and then work from the shoulders lifting away. Relax the jaws. Bend your knees, feet on the back should be easier. And just gently sway your hips from side to side, feeling the weight shifting from one foot to the other. And come back as you sit into your bum. Take your arms next to your shins and slowly lift yourself up via your chair. And exhale, take your arms down to the side. So you are now at the top of the mat, maybe 1 foot away from the front, stand tall. Let your big toes press the ground. Let your weight rest in the heels as you stand tall as a mountain pose. Relax the jaws. Breathe. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Getting that streamlined position as you find balance through that plumb line of head, chest, belly, all the way down to your pelvis. Hands to heart center, namaste. Inhale, reach your arms forward and maybe a gentle arch back. Hands to heart, exhale, fold forward towards your feet. Hands on shins, a halfway lift. Slight bend your knees, fingers now, right foot step back. Come into a lunge position, take your hands on your hips or let your arms hang beside the body. Keep your front knee bent, can you firm the back thighs? Left hand stay, right arm reach up, get the nice sensations of your right side body lifting before you add on the left arm overhead, glancing forward. Hands to heart, lean forward, press the ground, step back, downward facing dog. Toes pointing forward, arms go straight, breathe. Raise the heels, come forward to plank pose. Drop the knees far away from hands. Lean forward as you bend your elbows all the way, straight legs back, chest goes down. Shoulders roll away, hug the elbows in, baby cobra. It's always feeling the shoulder blades pull down and shining your collarbones, rolling them forwards. Let the pelvis stay heavy. Drop the chest down, use your hands, use your knees and your toes. Press back to force and slide your weight back, downward facing dog. You can take a visual glance at your toes pointing forward and your fingers stretching forward. Grip down the thumb and index finger. Then your arms are rested next to your ears. Breathe. Raise the heels so slightly before you slide the right foot forward between the hands. Left hand stay. Left toe stay. Lift your chest to extend forward. Right arm open up to the sky into a twisting. Push down the left hand but reach out through the right hand. Look forward and down. Take your hands to the ground. Drop your back knee and walk your hands back into a half split.
You can rely on your fingers, the hands can be on blocks, or you can challenge your sense of balance by sliding your hands on the hips and keeping a more upright torso with your heel digging into the ground. Choose one version. Slide your hands down, rebend the front knee. Walk the hands forward and I'd like you to sink into your hips with hand support. So my front knee is bent way beyond my toes. And that's fine because I'm resting weight on my fingers. If it's creating discomfort for your knees in this deep angle, feel free to keep just the front knee at a 90 degrees angle. Back toes can stay tucked. You can even lift the back knee up for more. Drop the back knee down. Shift the shoulders. Shift the buttocks backwards so you're coming into a more square shape. Then from there, you lift up the back thigh and step forward. And exhale, fold into your legs into a forward fold over your thighs. Hands on your ankles or shins, flat back. Strong legs or bend knees. Inhale, come up all the way through mountain. And hands to heart, namaste. Second side. Inhale, raise arms overhead through a tall, long mountain. Exhale, fold into your legs, forward fold. Fingers down, the left foot step back, lunge. Come up, hands beside the hips, let your arms just hang down, left leg straight. Right hand on the thigh, take a moment. Give your chest a nice lift, left arm next to your ears. You feel a little bit, by taking the arm one up at a time, maybe you give more space to feel one side body more. Right arm overhead. Come up into high lunge warrior. Very strong pose for most of us. Hands to heart. Lean forward, press the ground. Take your time. Downward facing dog. Arrange your feet pointing forward. Raise the heels, plank pose. You're pressing away from the ground. You're definitely using your legs to help you to stay lifted. Drop the knees far away from hands. Lean your weight towards the knuckles as you bend your elbows lower down. Legs lay straight. Get that sensation of legs firming, legs straight. Roll the shoulders, hug the elbow side of the ribs. Baby cobra. Or feel free to slide more belly and chest up. As your pelvis stays heavy, you're just getting a little bit of back bend. Lower down the chest by pushing down the hands for support. Come back onto hands and knees or fours. Back through downward facing dog. Squeeze the arms straight. Take a glance if you need to. If this pose is so familiar with you, you just feel you're pressing down the thumb index finger and also stretching out through the pinky finger. Breathe. Relax the jaws for a little while. Raise the heels so slightly. Take a left foot step between the hands. Right hand, right foot to stay. Lean the front knee on top of the ankle. Left arm open, twisting high lunge. Chest open. Relax the jaws. Can feel free to look towards the left side. Left hand down to the ground. Then from there, back knee down. Walk the hands back. Half split. Feel free to move your right knee back. Stay on fingers. Hands on blocks. Hands on hips option to engage more core. Then you can come up more upright. Yes. I'm feeling like the tightrope balance. My right toes is tucking towards the right side. My left heel is digging into the ground for more support. And I remind myself to breathe. Good. Rebend the front knee. Walk your fingers forward. Step in the left foot. Don't worry if the knee comes beyond the toes. See your weight forward. I'm deliberately doing that, but if it's too much for you, just get the knee on top of the ankle. Those who can, you see the low line. Back toes can tuck, fingers on the ground, or use blocks if you find a little bit too cramped into your lower back. Okay, all are fine. I'm still benefiting from the pose. I'm still feeling my right side hip stretch and my left ankle and left calf work. You can feel free to lift up the right thigh for a little while, hover. Drop the knee down, then slowly shift the buttocks on top of the hips. And then you lean the weight towards the fingers, towards the back toes and step forward. And exhale, fold in, standing forward fold. Okay, your thighs are pressing back. Your belly is also pressing. Stretch onto the thighs as your chin and chest go downwards towards the ankles. Then as a full body, you lean the buttocks on top of the ankle. Some of our legs will go straighter. over bent knees or straight legs, but a strong feet anchoring. Inhale, slowly come up through mountains, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up through mountain. Bend the knees and sit back into a gentle chair pose. So you're just slightly bending the knees and extending through the spine. Slide your hands to your heart center. Then from there, you hinge forward and forward fold. Let the hands slide down to the ankles. Bend the knees. Raise the arms up again, all the way rise through chair. Hands to heart center. We're going to review that again. Okay, take the arms next to your ears. Slide bend the knees like a chair pose. Slide your hands to heart center. Shift the weight to your left foot. And then your right foot will become light, right? That's why you slide the right foot back to the right side. Come into a high lunge. Lift the ribs away. High lunge warrior. Standing tall as you lift the ribs away and relax the jaws. Turn the palms forward, cactus arms. Reach your arms overhead. Cactus arms. One more time, arms overhead. And slide the hands to your heart center. You hinge forward, hands to ground. Move through plank pose. On knees or toes, lean forward. Elbows bend backwards, slow, descend down. Inhale, slide forward in cobra, low or high version. Exhale, downward facing dog. Thighs and bum backwards. Relax the jaws for a little while. Feel free to come into cat pose for assist, where your right leg be straight and then we'll be tapping down the right toes like this. Or feel free to do it from a downward facing dog, where you're going through three-legged dog to tap down to the right toes. Toes point ahead, grip the knuckles. You can raise the heels if you need to. So raise the heels a little bit. Let's raise about halfway from the usual. Right leg to the sky. Tap down the right toes. Right leg to the sky. If you're in cat pose, you're doing the same. Right toes down to the ground. Right leg up to the sky. Hold it here. Just feel that nice balance. Some of us can get the left heel downwards. Three-legged dog, arms are going straight. Relax the jaws. Raise the left heel. If you're still in cat pose, never mind, it's okay. Pull the right knee into your chest. You do the same instructions. And right foot step between the hands. That's where all you who are in cat pose, raise the back knee. Breathe. Then from there, angle the left foot 30 degrees, half a step out to the left side, 30 degrees out to the left. And then front knee bend, hands on hips or hands to thighs, slowly upright the torso. Turn the chest, you're facing through leftwards, right foot move to the right side. Squeeze your right butt to your left heel and stand tall in Warrior 1. Take the arms overhead. Warrior 1 is a lift up. It's also a little brightening of the chest as you gaze upwards. Exhale, slide your hands to heart and hinge forward into humble warrior with hands to heart option. You can slide your hands back and press the palms, interlace your fingers, rest the feet on the back, option 1. Option 2, squeeze your arms straight and raise your arms overhead as you face down like you're looking towards the front ankle. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing here. Release the fists. Release your fingers down to the ground. Take a while. Press down the fingers. Raise the back heel. Use blocks if you need to. Squeeze both legs straight as your back toes try to point forward as best as you can. Squeeze the right leg. Squeeze the left leg. I'd like you to give a little bit more freedom to extend the chest and take the right butt towards the left side into this modified pyramid pose. Relax the jaws and breathe. Then from there, bend the front knee, bend the back knee down to the ground. Toes point back on the left foot. That's the drop knee. And then walk the hands back and sit into your left heel. Feel free to sit on a block below your right butt. Okay, so you can see the right toes flex up. And then you're sitting on my left heel. It's like a half split, but you're resting on the left ankle. Okay, not too long. We bend the front knee, hand to the ground. And then from there, you slide the right knee back onto all fours. Give yourself a chance to do a side plank. Right toes to the right side. Left foot press flat. Push down the right palm and open the left arm up to the sky. The shoulder will sink into the ears unless you actively lift off. Top arm can reach across the ear. Relax and then turn your chest a little bit more skywards, but your gaze is to the left. Slide your hand down, slide your knee down, all fours. Exhale, either stay in all fours, child's pose, or downward dog as a rest pose. Relax the jaws and breathe. Take inhale, exhale. Before we go into either an extended cat or a three-legged dog, tapping down the toes. So you know the drill, this is the second side. Before we come to warrior one, humble warrior, and modified pyramid pose. Just to give you a rundown of what we did. Raise the heels halfway, left leg up, three-legged dog. Tap down the left toes. Just square off the hips. Left leg lift up to where you can. Doesn't matter. Exhale. More of control, more of breath. Lift up. This time, bend the top knee. Pull the left knee to chest as you gaze forward. Left foot step between the hands. From there, you glance towards the right foot, can half a step to the right side, angle 30 degrees forward. Bend the front knee, hand to hip or arms directly overhead, come up to warrior one. Take time to adjust the chest facing leftwards as your left knee bend. Make sure the knee track to the second third toe and squeeze the back leg straight as you find a nice little pelvis lift. Pelvis sitting in and lifting the ribs up into warrior one. Hands slide towards the heart center. Give a moment to lunge into your front leg, lean forward. Don't let the buttocks swing left, let the buttocks click to the right side, humble warrior. With palms in front of the chest, arms swing back. Interlace the other thumb on top, rest the feet on the back option. Front knee is bending, front weight is on the heel, where the back leg helps. Squeeze the shoulders away from the ears, humble warrior, stretching out with the shoulders, relax the jaws, breathing. 3, 2, 1. Drop the feet on the back, take the hands all the way down to the ground. Raise the back heel, squeeze the front leg straight for a little while. Lift up the chest, fingers can be on the ground. Click the left butt towards the right. Then bend the front knee, drop the back knee gently down on the ground, toes back. Take your blocks along with you if you need to. Walk the hands back. So if you take a block, okay, I'm just going to show on this side, your left butt can sit on the block. It's so much more supported. And you still get a stretch, okay? No worries about doing less, okay? So that's some of us, we always find that we're doing less. I'm one who feel like, am I being lazy here? Am I cutting edges here? No, you're getting more support. And then through the support, you get the correct sensations. You're getting more out of it, okay? But if you want to challenge, feel free. You can also find the balance through your fingers. Definitely up the challenge if you feel that is what makes you shine, perk up today. Slowly from here, rebend your front knee, take the hands down to the ground. You can lift the back thigh or you can directly slide the left knee back on all fours. Tuck the left toes to the left side, right foot press flat. Squeeze your buttocks towards the right side and take the right arm overhead your ears. Right arm across the ears. Don't let the shoulders stick onto the ears. Push away and neck long. Press down into your right foot as a little resistance that is comfortable for you. Open the chest, breathe. Right hand down to the ground, all fours. Let's get off the knees, downward facing dog. You can go into cat pose, child's pose, or just check in on your downward dog. Press the inner borders of the hands, inner borders of shoulders, pull back, and then stretch the pinky finger out. Take a while here, breathe. Then from there, slightly raise the heels, look ahead, take your left foot step between the hands, lunge. Lean your chest forward, inhale, come up through high lunge warrior. And then from there, hands to heart center, lean forward. You can keep your hands in front of the chest or take your hands to the ground, right foot step forward. Bend knees, exhale, fold into your legs into a standing forward fold. Let yourself drape into your legs, your toes point ahead, your buttocks upwards, your thighs backwards, and you relax the jaws. Bend your knees slightly, rise through chair, all the way streamline the body, come up to stand.
and slide your hands back to your heart center. Take a little while, breathe. Bend your knees, a high gentle chair. Shift weight to right foot and take your left foot step back, high lunge warrior. Sit into your front knee, lift the ribs away. Find a nice lifted feeling through your heart. Then from there, slide your hands to your heart center. Lean forward, press the ground forward. Slide back to a plank pose. On knees or toes, lean forward. Bend the elbows as you feel weight into your knuckles. Slowly descend. Toes back, 2 straight legs. Come up into cobra or high cobra with the legs extending out like a tail. Lean your weight back on hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog with your thighs going back. Jaws soft. Take a little while in downward dog as a rest. Okay, option to add on a diagonal aspect to it. Lift both heels halfway up and let both heels turn towards the right side. The toes turn left. Then you press the chest and the belly back. Breathe. Your left hand can be lighter if you want to train the right arm more. You can also keep the left palm flat. Then from there, release the left palm, raise the heels. We swing over to the second side. Toes point right, heels go left. You can press out with your right fingers. Left arm will bear weight for sure more. Or you can keep the right palm flat. Slowly press the right palm as you raise the heels. Drop the knees down to the ground. And slowly walk the way back into a supported child's pose. Let the arms go beside the body, forehead down to the ground. Broaden across the back. Rest the back of the hands against the ground and the forehead to the ground. Then flow slowly from here, come up through hero pose. Take the arms up and interlace your fingers. Push your palms to the sky. Let a nice lift come up from the ribs away. Bend the elbows, take the arms back. And then this time, hands catch across opposite elbow. And you just do a shoulder roll, imaginary shoulder roll, and let the forearms feel like it's cradling the base ribs. As you lean forward, you need a little bit of control to go down into a forward fold in child's pose. Roll the shoulders away, squeeze as you slide your hands to catch more of your upper elbow, upper arm. Press down the shin, press down the ankle. Slowly rise up through hero. Let the hands go. And come onto hands and knees onto your elbow. Okay, gradually. Elbow below the shoulders, you interlace your fingers. And you press down the forearm. So the tip of the elbow, you see, it kind of stays stationary as I rest my forearms down. Then face back. So my feet can be tucked under or lay flat the shin. I can round my back a little bit, feel that I'm puffing away from the ground as I stretch my chest backwards. You can stay here getting a little elbow, armpit stretch, or you can push back, straighten the legs out in the forearm plank. Broaden the back. Get the shoulders on top of the elbows as you raise your chin to look a little bit beyond the knuckles. Second time we're coming to this from the start of the class till now. Press down the forearms, puff up your back. One more breath, drop the knees soft, lay onto your belly, stretch out in Sphinx pose. Open the elbows out and lay your palms below the chin. Take the arms backwards, palms face towards the thighs as per just now. Streamline the body like a torpedo. Your forehead can catch the ground. This time take more awareness on your legs. Lift the right thigh, face the right thigh, knee and ankle down. Arrange the right leg straight. You might even feel your pinky toe catch the ground. Lay the left leg up a little bit so you can roll the thigh in and then face down the thigh, knee and ankle, and maybe the pinky toe get a little ground. Maybe your feet open wider, be more comfortable for your hip, or just let them be a little bit like a hip width apart. Okay, I like a little bit more like shoulder width apart. Feels like I create more freedom in my pelvis and sacrum.
Press down the thumb side of the hand. Roll the shoulders up into a locust pose. I'm not trying for height. I see if I can stretch my belly and chest as I look down my nose tip. Maybe the hands float off, maybe the hands stay. Sometimes I tend to over squeeze my elbows. Let us move a little bit more from the shoulder, like the upper arms want to crack in. Look down the nose tip and you can stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale slowly down. Slide to your hands to your ribs. Press up all the way onto all fours. Then from there, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Squeeze the arms and legs straight for a moment, breathing. Then from there, raise the heel so slightly. Take your right foot step forward. Back heel up. Inhale, come up into a high lunge warrior. Palms face forward, a cactus arms. Reach up to the sky, you can tap your fingers in. Cactus arms. One more time, reach up. And cactus, slide your hands to your heart, lean your weight forward. Shift the weight forward as you take your left foot forward. Rise through chair and all the way squeeze the legs straight. And slide your hands down beside the body. Now you're standing tall. You can face forward a little bit, just give a little bit comfort to your body. Keep the knees soft, shift weight onto your right foot and lift the left knee up. Hip level. Feel free to hold your hands at the back of your thighs and broaden across the chest. Squeeze your left leg straight. Bend it. Squeeze the leg straight. Bend it. If this is too challenging, just have the leg straight. Squeeze the left leg straight. Bend it. One more time, squeeze it straight. Hold it there. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Land the foot down. Change side. Shift weight to left foot. Right knee lift up to any height. You can lift it beyond the hip or lower. Hand can hold lightly or just squeeze the leg straight in its own leg. Bend it. Squeeze the leg straight. Bend it. Squeeze straight. Bend it. One more time. Squeeze straight. For 3. Don't lean back. Stand tall. 2, 1. Bend the knee. Slowly land the foot down. Then from there, you squeeze the thigh together and feel yourself getting tall. Okay? Just close your eyes if you like to. Just squeeze your thigh together. Usually we don't do this, but let's try. Okay? You can let your inner thighs hug into the center. Close your eyes and find that sense of balance. It's a little bit tucked under for most of us. Okay, relax the shoulders, close your eyes, trust your balance. Open your eyes. If you can, you keep your feet together. Otherwise, you open the distance between the heel or even more. Just feel a little bit more tightrope than usual. Then from there, arms go back. So same like just now, arms go back. We've done a lot of this. You can hold a strap if this really isn't working for you. Okay? Or those who can, you clap the upper arms and clap the arms. Raise the fist off. Just come up to a comfortable height. You can soft bend the knees, go halfway hinge. And you can squeeze the legs straight or keep the legs bent. Rest the feet on the back if you'd like to, or just lift up. Slowly bend your knees, coming up. Release. Take a moment, relax. Take the arms back. Try the other thumb crossing in front. A weird one. Roll the shoulders away. If your shoulders are feeling tight, okay, close the pinky finger in as well. If your shoulders are feeling tight, I suggest that your feet stays onto your back. So soft bend in the knees, you hinge forward at the hip. You can bend your knees, stay here, lift the chest, look forward, training a little core strength. And slowly exhale, coming up, release the hands. Then from there, take your feet wide across the mat. Toes point forward, parallel the edges of the feet. You bend your knees a little bit and feel a softness, a little bit of softness across the front hip when you like to get that cut in of the legs into the pelvis. Bend your knees, let your buttock shift back. You find that hip crease and go halfway forward. Halfway is good. Stay here, stay here. Take your hands on opposite elbows behind your ribs and see if you can stay in this halfway mark. Those who want to progress, stretch your arms back, interlace your fingers, keep your feet on the back. Then if you want to, either with hands on opposite elbow or feet on the back, go into forward fold. Just do where you can. Bend your knees a little bit, get deeper. Then those who can, squeeze back the legs straight. If you want a lot more, you roll the shoulders and lift the fists over your head. Shift the weight forward towards the toes. Slightly bend your knees, rest the feet on the back, coming up to a halfway mark. And all the way slowly come. Release the fists. Then from there, now you're in a wide stance. Make sure you have enough space front and back. Okay. Turn the left toes. That's the left toes, okay? Don't worry about which one. Left toes. Turn towards the short end of the mat. So you turn your left heel towards the back and then your left toes angle forward. So you feel that it's almost like a angle in, okay, rotation, inner rotate of your left thigh. And then from here, your body is trying to angle to the right side, right? You turn the right toes forward. If you're too much on a tight rope, move your right foot a little bit more to the right side. And then you face forward as though you're going to do warrior one. So you can try bending your front knee. You will feel like a warrior one. Okay, if you feel like you're getting jammed here, move the right foot to the right side. And turn the chest facing forward. Still good? Then the front knee, like you're going to a warrior one. Stay upright for a while. Good, squeeze the legs straight. Then from here, you choose your arm option. Arms can go back, hold on to opposite elbow. Or arms can go back, reach out and find the knuckles. Okay, I'm going to do my elbows on this one. Hand catch on opposite elbow or loosely around the wrist. You squeeze your hip. Okay, take your hands on the hips first. Squeeze the hip. Feel like you're clamping the hip through your fingers. Squeeze it. Okay, as you squeeze in, a lot of us will squeeze in and squeeze the breath. Okay, that's a cool reminder. Squeeze in. Find that you're on a tightrope balance, but you're feeling quite okay to move in. You can be upright like this. Just do a gentle back bend. Then we're going to slightly bend your front knee. We need to hinge halfway forward. Hinge halfway forward. Hinge. Then your buttocks will start to sway right, flip it to the left. Halfway forward or angle all the way down. Let the belly find the thigh, let the chest go across the shin. Let the chin go towards the ankle. Breathe in. 3, 2, stretch the neck long and slowly 1. You can lay the fists on the hips. Slowly come up to stand. Turn the toes forward, parallel the feet. Release your hands by the side of the body. Close your eyes if you like to. Hands rest across the front thigh. And we're going directly to the second side, just for good measure. Okay, so you angle the back foot, that's the right foot. Okay, make sure you're on the mat. If you're not, okay, right ankle, get the heel driving back. Okay, then the toes angle a little bit more rightwards. So it's like a pigeon toe a little bit on the right leg. Can you squeeze the leg straight? Feels weird, right? I know, it's an ankle. We have been working on it just now. Left toes point forward towards the left side. And then if you find that you're cramping up anywhere, you jam up anywhere, like pants are jammed up somewhere, okay, you move the left foot to the left side. And try to squeeze your hands to find your inner hips. As you stand tall. So stand tall the best you can and let the arms hang. Then from there, bend the front knee and squeeze it straight. Bend the front knee. So it could be a chance for you to find, okay, where is a comfortable width for you to stand your length. Okay, later that might change. So is the back ankle and heel still down? Otherwise, put the padding below the heel. Then from there, squeeze the leg straight. Hands find the hips. Option for hand on opposite elbow. Option for arms go back. You have done a lot of work with the shoulder stretch. So if by now your shoulders are feeling sore, go with the hands on opposite elbow or loosely around the wrist. I'm going to find an easier grip for myself. Arms swing back like locust. Interlace your fingers, fists on the back so that it's easier. Squeeze the hip. I fold in at the hip, fold in at the hip, fold it halfway, halfway, halfway. Stay here, lift the chest out. Squeeze the left butt towards the right heel, halfway. I keep my fists on my back for now. Okay. Keep the front leg straight, driving the weight into the heel and the toes. Then from there, maybe I let my belly rest across the thighs and let my chin go out. It can get really intense because you're not using your hands for support. Those who like to lift the shoulders overhead and find that this is an awkward position. You're forward fold while your arms are doing counter. That is the challenge of the pose. So if it feels really awkward, let the feet stay on the back and focus on the back body stretch. The hamstrings, the calf, the back. Then from there, release the hands on the hips, bend the front knee a little if you need to. Slowly come up to standing. Shift the weight to the right foot, both side toes turn forward. Just for a little balance. Okay, you close in the feet about halfway in. Bend the knees a little bit. Allow the back to soften by softening the knees a little bit and drip down. Let the arms hang down like a gorilla arms. Let the back of the hands find some air or find some ground. Take your hands to the ground. You can use the ground for support and slowly come down to a squat. All the way, rest the knees down. Rest the ankles down and sit over to one side as you slowly take your feet forward. Take your soles of the feet together and slightly open the knees out. If you feel that, I need a lot of support now, take your hands, take your blocks below your thighs, support the bones. Your muscles, your fascia can stretch out. If you don't need, you can still keep the soles of the feet together. How close they are to the groin really depends on the individual. So I let gravity do its work, or I can even use a soft stroke, okay, of using my hands sliding out to my knees to really soothe my inner thighs that has been hugging in so much today. Maybe I can also go a little bit to the outer leg. So you can even move down. Bring a little circulation towards the ankles and the heels and the Achilles tendons. Sweeping action and then release. You can stay with all this sweep or you can feel free to press the soles of the feet together, lean forward. I like to get my elbows down. Some of us will be more with hands forward, supporting the ground, or elbows forms down to the ground. Do not force the forward fold. Just go to a comfortable degree, stretch out the inner thigh. Slowly, we're not staying too long, walk the hands backwards. Slowly come up, squeeze the knees together and squeeze the knees in. You can wrap your hands around the back of the knees or the cuffs. Soften your gaze down, allowing your back, upper back, the back of the neck to round, the upper back, the middle back to round. Move forward and slowly from here, step your feet to the end of the mat and help yourself down as you press your hands behind your back. Slowly rest on the forearms and the elbows and let yourself come down to the ground. Okay, make sure your head gets on the mat, okay, for more comfort. And let your feet be on the ground. Let's counter stretch. The feet, you can just take a little glance forward. Your knees about hip width or wider. Your feet also about hip width. Let the belly stretch out towards the knees direction. So a little curvature on the back first. Your hands can rest beside the body. Just feeling a little curvature on the back. Gently roll onto the back of the head from side to side. Roll back to center. Let's press the feet into the ground. You round your back like you're doing cat pose. So it helps you to lift the load of the buttocks off the ground. And then now you work on a stretch in your front hip that we have been closing in. You hug in the inner thigh, you hug in the hip. You can use your hands like little clamp in. And then you stay here. Feel free to draw the arms forward. As you clamp down on the pinky finger, back the neck long or robot arms, or pull down the sides of the mat in your bridge pose. Exhale, slowly drop the bum down. So once again, you let the pelvis fall to the direction of the feet. If you feel like you need to, you can lift to look towards the navel and drag the ribs a little bit from the pelvis. Then you lay back down. Then just with your left foot standing still, your right leg goes straight. Dig into the heel. So the right foot feels like standing in the air.
Take a while. Let the right front hip stretch. Then we add on. Left leg also do the same. It's like standing in mountain pose with a little curve in the back. This is active. Okay, so most likely most of our back will be off the ground. The lower back at least, the little curvature that we have will be a little bit off the ground. Just firm the legs. It also feels like we're standing. It's done on purpose. Okay, now point the toes. Firm the legs. You can walk in the feet more, streamline the body, and exhale, let everything go. So now you let your legs flop out to the side. You open your arms a little bit out away from the waistline so that you feel a little bit more space between your body and the arms. It's like giving a little bit more breathing space into the side ribs, into the side body as you lay flat on your body. Wriggle your fingers lightly and let it close into a soft fist. Feel the back of the head being supported on the ground and let the chest gently feel like it's sink down into the ground. Close your eyes, relax the jaws, and take rest here. Shavasana. Relax for another 3 to 4 minutes. So I'll leave you here in your Shavasana. So take time to breathe and enjoy the rest that this pose brings to your whole practice.
Thank you for your attention in the practice. Namaste.